with a contract status update and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, don't forget to press that like button and make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on. For information regarding a lawsuit that WWE dropped, Ringside News wrote that WWE has been involved in numerous legal disputes over the years, both as a company and through those managing it behind the scenes. One of these legal battles involving the release of financial details related to the 2023 Royal Rumble has now been dropped. According to Brandon Thurston, WWE ended its lawsuit against the Texas Attorney General's office, which aimed to prevent the city of San Antonio from sharing records with his publication WrestleNomics. These records pertain to the financial arrangements for hosting the Royal Rumble in 2023. It was previously reported that the city of San Antonio provided WWE with over $500,000 in value, including a $250,000 cash site fee to bring the Royal Rumble to the Alamo Dome. The estimated total value ahead of time was $546,710.74, but the city eventually submitted expenses amounting to $575,415.98 to the Texas Governor's Office for reimbursement. WWE sought to block the release of these records, trying to prevent details about how much San Antonio paid them from becoming public. The registry of actions for this case shows that the plaintiff, which would be WWE, has dropped the lawsuit today, September 23rd, 2024. It is unknown why WWE pulled out of the lawsuit. As it was announced that Dominik Mysterio would be suspended in a shark cage during the match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood, Morgan and Mysterio could be seen backstage talking about this.
You're not. I know you're gonna figure this out. We're gonna go find Adam. We're gonna go find Adam right now. I cannot believe her. She's disgusting.
I can't be locked up again.
Mentioning the growth of the AEW women's division, Deonna Purrazzo said this to the Wrestling Classic: "That was the goal coming into this year. I was the first big signee of 2024 and I got to debut in New Jersey, my hometown. From day one, it was incredible. Now to see how the division is growing, Mercedes Moné coming in, Anna Jay just getting back from a tour in Stardom, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. There's that partnership with New Japan. The division has grown tremendously and there's so much potential in the stories we can tell. I would love to go back to Japan. I would love to work with New Japan more. The possibilities are endless and I'm just really excited about it." During Jey Uso's entrance on Raw, Rhea Ripley could be seen waving her arms to the music. Recalling the Wyatt Sicks debuting on Raw, Jason Baker, who worked with them on this, told Metro, "Let me think of the best way to say this without getting in trouble." He laughed, admitting that the short answer is, "It was amazing being part of a night where WWE was firing on all cylinders. We had that whole thing set up in like 15 minutes, he recalled. Paul Levesque, Triple H, came in earlier that day and was like, "This is what we should do," and everybody was like, "Yes sir, we're going to do it and it. The fraction of error is so, when you actually step back and think about it, that is insane. To do that long of a tracking shot with so many variables and so many people and so many things, and do it live in one take. We all know that he has that faith in us, so by proxy, everybody wants to do the best job that they can humanly possible. Because having a boss that actually cares about you, he said, you want to return that tenfold. When it comes to the NWA show on the CW app, Ringside News wrote that fans of NWA Powerrr who access the show on the CW app may have noticed an alarming update. All episodes are listed as expiring in 6 days, which means the series could be removed from the platform as of September 30th. The CW app currently hosts all 6 seasons of NWA Powerrr, including the most recent episode that aired on September 24th. As the series approaches its potential expiration date, the future of NWA's Powerrr streaming availability is becoming a hot topic among fans. Next Tuesday's episode, scheduled for September 30th, will feature the highly anticipated NWA World Heavyweight title match between EC3 and Tom Latimer. The match, which was filmed during NWA 76, promises to be an intense showdown, potentially marking a fitting send-off for NWA Powerrr on the CW app. Meanwhile, WWE NXT is set to premiere on the CW network on October 1st, which may explain some of the shifts in programming on the app. As of now, there's no official word on where NWA content will move after September 30th, but fans are eager to know whether the series will find a new streaming home. Speaking about Miro requesting his release from AEW, Jim Cornette said this about him potentially going back to WWE, noting on his drive-through podcast, "Why would WWE want him? At this point, everybody they've got's over. He lives in Bulgaria. He's been a problem child at the other company. Unless he's got some close friends there that he can plead his case of complete innocence, and he hasn't acted like a stable type of individual himself." With NXT set to premiere on the CW network, an NXT on CW racecar could be seen in this clip.
Holy cow! It's the NXT on the CW! That's a mean-looking machine to kick off the playoffs. There's only one driver who can tame this beast, and that man is Cole Custer.
And he's looking to win back-to-back championships. But he can't do it alone. Here's the pit crew for the Double Zero. He's got the fastest hands on pit road. He's the rear tire changer, Dakota Ratcliffe. You know the Double Zero isn't leaving pit lane on an empty stomach. He's the gas man, Matthew Kemp. Lifting the Double Zero off the ground is Jackman Brandon Banks. Slapping on a new pair of slicks is tire carrier Chad Emmons. 5 off, 5 on. He's front tire changer Shane Papaya. And calling the shots from atop the box, it's JT. There you have it, folks. These guys are ready to battle.
Mentioning another accomplishment that came with Jey Uso's Intercontinental title victory on Raw, Ringside News wrote that with this win, Jey Uso made history by becoming part of an exclusive WWE club. He and his father, Rikishi, are now the second father-son duo in WWE history to both hold the Intercontinental Championship. The only other pair to achieve this is Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and his son, Curtis Axel. Rikishi won the Intercontinental Intercontinental Championship in June 2000, but held the title for only 13 days before losing it to Val Venus. This was Rikishi's only singles title reign in WWE. In comparison, Mr. Perfect held the Intercontinental Championship twice from April 1990 to August 1991 with a combined reign of 404 days. Curtis Axel, his son, won the title in June 2013 at Payback by defeating Wade Barrett and The Miz in a triple threat match. Axel's reign lasted 155 days before he lost the title to Big E on an episode of Raw in November of that year. Staying on the topic of Bron Breakker's match against Jey Uso, this was said by Ringside News regarding Breakker's WWE future. Interestingly, Bron Breakker's portrayal on the main roster has been predominantly as a heel. However, recent developments suggest a shift in his character. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE appears to be steering Breakker towards a babyface turn. Meltzer noted that the promotion is subtly encouraging fan engagement through actions like barking, a gesture typically resonant with babyface personas. They are definitely building towards a Bron Breakker babyface turn, Meltzer explained. They are already doing a thing where they are trying to get the fans to bark. That's a babyface move. So they are already on the babyface track. Talking about how Vince McMahon staying with WWE could have affected the company's deal with Netflix given the sex trafficking lawsuit, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, if this lawsuit had been filed a month earlier, once the deal was signed and they were all excited it was announced, they didn't back off because Vince was gone. You gotta remember that the lawsuit's filed, they signed the deal, it's announced, a couple of days later the lawsuit was filed and Vince was then gone. If Vince had stayed, would they have stayed with the deal? Who knows? But if they had known about this, especially if this was the old Vince McMahon company and this comes out before it, the face of the future of the industry would be different, and I don't know if Netflix would have gone for the deal. On that same show, Dave Meltzer revealed that Vince McMahon attempted to purchase the upcoming Netflix docuseries on him. He realized that this documentary was going to be different from what he imagined it to be. So the Netflix deal with WWE, which was signed in January. So he apparently tried, which I believe last year, he tried to buy the documentary. Basically, buy it to kill it, which a lot of media does, or a lot of rich people do with unfavorable media at times, and Netflix turned him down. He tried to use Ari Emanuel to do the same and try and get the thing killed, and that didn't work, so here we are. Vince McMahon even released a statement regarding the docuseries, writing, "I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons. Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vince. The title and promos alone make that evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused. The producers use typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites to distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative." The attorney for Janel Grant and Callis would respond to McMahon's previously mentioned statement, saying, "Vince McMahon physically and emotionally abused, sexually assaulted, and human trafficked Janel Grant for more than 2 years. Calling his horrific and criminal behavior an affair is delusional and nothing more than a sad attempt to save his shredded reputation. Although Ms. Grant has not seen the Mr. McMahon docu-series, we hope it shines a bright light on his abhorrent and criminal actions by accurately portraying the realities of his abusive and exploitative behavior. Ms. Grant will no longer be silenced by McMahon. Her story, though deeply troubling and exceptionally painful, is one that can help other abuse survivors find their voices. We seek to hold McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE accountable and to give Ms. Grant her day in court." Ahead of his match, where he will team up with Cody Rhodes to take on the Bloodline at Bad Blood, Roman Reigns posted this workout footage. Touching on the song that Joe Hendry made for him, NXT champion Ethan Page told Chris Van Vliet, "No, he didn't tell me what was in it. I also said I don't care. I was just like, go for it, whatever you find, go for it, don't mention my kids, and I don't care at all." Then he showed that stupid video. I'm glad you brought this up because I told my wife that I really wanted to brag about this. It just didn't seem like a thing to say on social media, so I'm glad I get to do it on your show. My daughter is now a published photographer and a worldwide videographer. She filmed that video of me in the Bowser costume doing curls on Halloween, and then a video game magazine put pictures out of my Sega Genesis collection, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny if my daughter took these photos. So I'm just saying she's very talented for only being 6 years old. Videographer for the WWE. During that same interview, Page would say this about leaving AEW for WWE. It was time. Yeah, it was time. And I wasn't getting what I magically got here, which was the opportunity to show what I bring to the table. Posting a video regarding his TNA comeback, Matt Cardona said this.
When is enough enough? When is the boyhood dream over? In this business, the only thing harder than getting over is staying over. Do I have what it takes to start over? Get over, stay over, start over. They said I was just another guy. Then I became the internet champion. They tried to ignore me, but the fans wouldn't let them.
I love all that.
They thought I was dead,
Look out!
only to come back stronger than ever.
Stay over. Stop the intensity. The fire.
They said I wasn't tough enough, so I took the death match crown.
Stay over. Start over.
They said I wasn't a top guy. Then I became a god. Said I had all the tools. Creative has nothing for you. Creative? I am the creative. I am complete. The complete Matt Cardona. Start over.
With Daniel Garcia yet to sign a new deal with AEW, Dave Meltzer said this on Wrestling Observer Radio. Yes, it has everything to do with that. I don't think that they want to put him on TV until he makes the commitment. As far as what's going to happen with him, I would say this. I would say that the almost surety or the strong confidence that he was signing, I wouldn't say that it's as strong. I wouldn't say that he's leaving either, but it's not as strong as it was a month ago. He may leave. The fact he didn't sign before the last pay-per-view was one that is like, hey, wait a minute, why didn't he sign before the last pay-per-view? It made a difference. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.